So here we go, the next task on the MGZR, the project car. Today I'm going to be taking off one of the front wings, passenger side. I've already done, I'm being honest with you, I've already done the driver's side, did that a week or so ago, and to be honest, it was bloody hard work. It took me 7 hours. What I did was I took off the wheel, I took off the inner lining, I did a right proper job on it. Nuts wouldn't come undone, obviously. I mean, they were just literally corroded, and to be honest, it was a complete nightmare. And by the time I'd finished it and put it all back together, I think it was around 6.5, 7 hours, and I thought I've got to do the other side, and I was not looking forward to doing it. Today I'm thinking, now it's not raining, well, hopefully not for now at the very least, I thought I'll give the passenger side wing a go and see if I can get that off. But I had this inspiration. Could I take the wing off without jacking it up, taking the wheel off, taking the inner lining off, and basically try and tackle it that way? Well, let's find out. I've undone these bolts already, and I've got one more to do along the bottom, and you'll already see this is loose. So there's a bolt that's just at the very bottom of the wing, just below the side skirt here. So hopefully, oh, it's loose. That's good. That's good. I'm going to be able to pull this one out, and then that should loosen the wing off. Certainly the back end. There are two bolts that hold it at the front, which hold it to the bumper. They connect it to the bumper. They tend to rust. What I discovered on the other side is that they rusted so much, they rusted into the wing, which is why I think you get that rust spot at the front of the wing. I'm no expert, mind you, but I do know. I ain't going to do it again. I've put so much underseal on it now. I think I've doubled the weight of the car. Oh, here we go. This one's coming out. Well, so it's time to just, I've taken that out there. Just try and pull this, ease this wing away. Oops, it's coming away. So it should be access the two bolts that are right down inside there that really rust. It was all going according to plan, but unfortunately that fixing bracket for one bolt just caught the edge of the door. So another scratch, another one to add to the, let's just get the whole bloody car sprayed. Thinking, be warned if you are going to do this, if you look in there, that's the bolts that rust. So that's where I think the problem lies, in the bottom part of that front wing, rusting. These corrode. There's a metal plate that goes across the top, and that's just literally rotted away, or it certainly was on the other side. This one did look much better. So I've now got to try and get those bolts out, and if I can get those bolts out, this wing will come away. If anyone is thinking about not changing this wing because you've got a little bit of rust here, this is what's going on the other side of it. Pretty nasty. That is what's left of the bolts and the metal plates holding that wing in place. So I'm glad I'm changing that wing, to be honest with you. Although quite what I'm going to be replacing this with, I do not know. Okay, I think I've freed up all the bolts. But I'll tell you what, I think this wing's about to come off. Just making sure we don't still scratch that. And that's off. And just that last bit down there. She's coming out. Come on, baby, you can do it. Out you come, out you come. Ah, yes. Look at the dirt on there. Wow. The more I look at this, the more I realise what a complete and utter water trap this part of the wing is, really. And if you look here, obviously that's on the outside of the wing. That's where it rusted. And if you look on the inside, you can see why. There's like a double layer of skin, and where the water's obviously just sitting there, it just rots it away. Why they didn't put more rust protection on these in the factory is a bit of a mystery, because it all ends up like that. But now I've got to get this bolt off, or this one here. I've soaked it in WD-40, so I'm hoping I'm going to get this off and literally just put it onto the new wing. On the other side, when I did that wing, I had to drill that out, and it took me forever. No wonder it took me 7 hours to do this job. So let's put that down there for now. Well, there we have it. Wing off, cleaned, and I have to say, this all looks really, really clean now. Really clean. All I've got to do now is get the new wing on. But first I've got to get off the bolt that was rusted that comes out here. It's like a support bracket and holds these in place here on the bumper. And I've undone it. Slowly, slowly. WD-40 loosened off that bolt. I thought it was corroded on. I honestly thought it was going to snap. I just did it very slowly, and this is it. So I'm just having a little bit of a wire brush moment, cleaning it. But it persists, and it will come away. I'm going to wrap it down and paint it now. Well, here we have it. Brand new wing. I got these pre-painted. The match isn't bad, I can tell you. The one on the other side. So let's get this out. There we are. Paint code MBB, Starlight Silver. Very nice. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is put some underseal on the back. The black underbody seal. Just give that bit of protection. And definitely putting a bit down in there, that section there, where that went rusty before. So let's get it on. Well, keeping up the tradition of the MG Rover factory, guys and gals, time for a brew. Because guess what? It's raining. Now, I just want to add for the record, this is spring 2023, and I have never ever known us in the UK to have as much rain as we've had this year. It's almost monsoon, and every time I go out to try and do some work on the car, guess what? Yeah, peas down. So anyway, the wing's back on. Just to recap, I managed to fit that bolt, and it's just needs tightening up. Obviously I can't do it now because it's raining. Now I know the wing's covered in rain, but have a look yourself. Not half bad, mates. But rain has definitely stopped play today. Yeah, some blue sky. Let's make the most of it before it rains again. Now it's dry, I've fitted the wing back on, and I've also added some new bolts. This is the driver's side. How good does that look? I'm gonna get a new badge. You can see that I've put new bolts on as well. I mean, these are really nice. They just give it that little bit. These are all stainless steel, so hopefully they'll last a bit longer than MG Rovers. It just brightens it up a little bit more. I managed to fix the grille as well, because the grille was half hanging out, so that's done now. But there's the wing. Right, what I've got left to do now, really, now I've put these two wings on, is what they call fettling, or I think it's what they used to call that in the factory when they took cars off the line. They took them to one side and they did a bit of extra work on them just to make them absolutely perfect. And that included adjusting wings and just stuff under the bonnet, all that kind of stuff really. I'm sure any MG Rover factory workers out there might call it something different and say I've completely got that wrong, but I think you get the gist. My wife seems to think that it should be more, because I love the cars so much, it should be more like petting really than fettling, but that's not true. But well, actually, you say that. I've got to go along these bolts and just literally adjust them, and then just move the panel like this, loosen them up, making sure that they've got some kind of movement in them, which they have. And there's a couple of bolts just inside the door here as well, so we can make sure that they're all nice and loose, and just make sure that they line up. I know the one underneath is done. So, and I just want to make sure that when I shut the door, that gap is pretty even all the way down. And if I literally just tap that up there like that, and just do a bit of that gap is pretty much even. And door opens nicely. Without crunching on it, so that's handy. And of course I've put the new stainless steel screws in there as well, so that's all good. Giving the engine a bit of a clean up again, and she don't look bad. Quite chuffed with her.